اي حاجه عندك طلع طلع البجاج.
If you thought sibling rivalries were limited to petty squabbles over toys, you clearly haven't been paying attention to the geopolitical drama stirring Sudan and Southern Sudan. These entrenched twins, once part of a unified family, are now locked in a fresh bout of hostility, this time ignited by a viral TikTok video. Yes, you heard that right. A TikTok video has left dozens dead and many injured and prompted South Sudan to shut down its internet for 30 days to stem the escalating violence. The drama began when Sudan's armed forces triumphantly reclaimed Wad Madani, a strategic city in Gezira state, from the Rapid Support Forces RSF. This military victory, complete with public celebrations, was hailed as a win for Sudan's sovereignty. But behind the celebratory headlines lay grim realities. A bloody battle left scores dead and others wounded. Things took an even a dark turn when a video surfaced online showing South Sudanese nationals being brutalized by Sudanese soldiers, with some reportedly killed.
شرف وبركات
فتشوا هذا الحرام
قاعدك فوق
قاعدين شك
ارد محبل ارد محبل
وين باقي
اركب فوق يا زول اركب فوق
وين باقي الناس معك
يا جماعه عمله قبضناها عند الجنوبي ده دي عمله اركب فوق جنوبيين ها الله اكبر الله اكبر اللقيت ماشي اللقيت ماشي.
To add more fuel to the fire, an undated video emerged where Sudanese General Yasser al-Atta threw out an unsubstantiated claim that 65% of the RSF members were South Sudanese nationals. Naturally, this only added to the digital dumpster fire. The footage, a gut punch to the South Sudanese citizens at home and abroad, went viral, stoking flames of outrage that leaped across borders. Juba, typically a relatively sleepy capital, erupted in protest. South Sudanese citizens, known for their strikingly tall frames and stunningly dark complexions, took to the streets demanding justice for their slain compatriots.
مقاطعة الرنج زي ما شايفين جمع كثير من الأمهات والأطفال والأهل هنا في الرنج يبكوا فقيدنا. ربنا يرحمه ويغفر له دين وجه. ربنا يعزيكم. ربنا يصبركم نعتيم والهادي مصطفى وكل الزملاء. فقدنا مصطفى فقدنا.
The peaceful protest soon morphed into chaos. Demonstrations outside the Sudanese embassy led to clashes with police, arrests, and sporadic violence. Their cries for justice turned into violence as at least 19 Sudanese nationals were killed in reprisal attacks across southern Sudan. Over 600 Sudan nationals sought refuge at South Sudanese Army headquarters, fearing further attacks. President Salva Kiir, visibly distressed, urged his people to show restraint, condemning the killings and calling for peace. His plea, however, fell on deaf ears as tensions spiraled. South Sudan's government made an executive decision to block all social media for a month, citing its role in amplifying violence and sharing graphic, disturbing content.
We have the capacity to shut down social media in South Sudan.
The move was announced in a formal letter dripping with a bureaucratic urgency, but the subtext was clear. If we can't calm the people, we can at least silence their Wi-Fi. Now, this letter was submitted by the Director General of National Communications Authority, known as Napoleon Adokogai. We formally request the blockage of these social media sites for a minimum of 30 days. This directive may be lifted as soon as the situation is contained. The contents depicted violate our local laws and pose a significant threat to public safety and mental health, especially the vulnerable groups. Read part of the letter. To understand why the situation escalated so quickly, we need to rewind the clock. South Sudan and Sudan were once a single country, but the seeds of their split were planted long before independence. During British-Egyptian colonial rule, Sudan's north and south were treated as separated worlds. The north, dominated by Arabs and Muslims, was lavished with infrastructure and governance. Meanwhile, the south part, populated largely by Africans practicing Christianity or traditional religions, was left marginalized and underdeveloped. When Sudan gained independence in 1956, the divide only deepened. Khartoum's northern elites imposed Sharia law and ignored the South's grievances, igniting two brutal civil wars. The Second Sudanese Civil War, led by John Garang, Sudan's People's Liberation Army (SPLA), was especially devastating, claiming over 2 million lives. It wasn't until January 2011 that Southern Sudanese got their long-awaited shot at the independence. A staggering 98.8% of voters chose to secede, and only July 9, 2011, South Sudan became the world's youngest nation after separating from the northern. The separation, though celebratory, left unresolved tensions between the two nations, a simmering pot waiting to boil over. Fast forward to today, and that pot is spilling everywhere. South Sudan, the second largest destination for refugees fleeing Sudan's ongoing conflict, is already stretched thin.
دي كانت جيت بعاني من شهر 4 بعد العيد مباشرة بعد عيد رمضان.
Over 810,000 people have crossed its borders since April 2023. These refugees mainly came from the northern part of Sudan, that northern part that was revered by many long time ago. Now, the viral TikTok video and subsequent fallout have only heightened tensions in a region already teetering on the edge. In the end, What started as a celebration of military victory in Sudan has spiraled into an international incident. Two nations forever linked by history and tragedy are once again locked in a painful dance of violence, vengeance, and recrimination.